Revolutionary greetings, comrades. It's the 25 May 2024. Happy Africa Day. We are at the FNB Stadium in Johannesburg, just outside Soweto. It's early in the morning, shortly after 9 a.m. I know that some of you, when you see this video later on, you will say that FNB Stadium was empty. No, I'm actually recording this at 9:10 in the morning. So people are coming into the stadium. But what is the significance of the ANC Ziyanqoba rally? The ANC as a former liberation movement, or should I say as a liberation movement, still continues with this struggle against imperialism. This is why it is important that the ANC wins the elections on the 29th of May 2024. I know some would say, no, Comrade Mabena, we are a Zimbabwean, we should not be advocating for the ANC victory. But I want to tell you something, why it is significant that the African National Congress must win the elections on the 29th of May, and why we are in solidarity with the African National Congress. Firstly, the ANC as a liberation movement has to complete the total liberation of South Africa. The ANC, as founded in 1912, inspired all of us to establish liberation movements across the continent. For instance, in then Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, our forebears established the ZAPU, which has been in alliance with the African National Congress, waging a strike against colonialism. But the strike is not complete. This is why we are saying the strike in Zimbabwe, the strike in South Africa is not complete. The strike is interlinked. So we need the African National Congress as the liberation movement to continue with the struggle for national liberation. We must complete the liberation of South Africa. We must complete the liberation of Zimbabwe. What do we mean when we say we must complete the liberation? It means that we must push back the frontiers of poverty. We must place the economy of our two countries in the hands of society as a whole. In other words, we must have a dictatorship of the proletariat. And the question, of course, that comrades will be asking is, can the liberation movement, particularly the African National Congress, lead in the realization of the dictatorship of the proletariat? It's a discussion that we must have amongst ourselves. But mostly important, secondly, why the ANC must win, it is because of its solidarity with the people of Russia. It's contesting NATO in Eastern Europe. There's an imperialist war ongoing in Europe, and the ANC government has been under pressure to denounce Russia. But ANC stood its ground by supporting Russia, by not standing in support with what NATO is doing in Russia, in Ukraine. This is why the African National Congress must win, because if the ANC does not win, we are going to reverse the gains that we've secured in Russia in supporting Russia as it wages a war against the NATO, because the war in Ukraine should not just be seen as a war between Russia and Ukraine. It is a war against the NATO, which is being led by Russia, and the South African government is giving solidarity to Russia. Thirdly and finally, why the ANC must win. The ANC has taken or has given practical support to the people of Palestine by going to the International Court of Justice to ensure that Israel respect the rights of the Palestinian people. The ANC government gives practical solidarity to Palestine. This is why the ANC must win, because if the ANC does not win, and we see opposition parties in South Africa that support Israel, because if the ANC is removed from power, the people of Palestine will not complete their liberation. We want a free Palestine. Palestine must be free from the river to the sea. And it is the African National Congress that can ensure, in terms of this practical solidarity, that all of us, we assist the people of Palestine. And finally, I know that my comrades in Zimbabwe would be saying, Comrade Mabena, ANC is in a relationship with the ZANU-PF. Your support of the ANC is just as good as supporting ZANU-PF. It is not so. We've explained the differences between ZANU-PF and the ANC. So let us give solidarity to the African National Congress, and we say Amandla in this young rally. Amandla, comrades.